Hello, lovelies. I have only just met Samia Bashir. During this first week of the summer writing program, I have been a little in awe, more than a little. In a panel on Monday, she told us all polite behavior is a form of self-denial. Such a rich generosity of spirit, unafraid to meet the realities of suffering with an open heart and a call for transformative justice, an eye on futurity that is also present in her work. Samia Bashir's prosodic rhythm is propelled by syntactic dynamism, a tidal dynamism, the contexture of each line found between how it respects and responds to the preceding. Her voice is as frank and willfully exposed as the observations she offers, redefining the consensus of how we see. For instance, in her poem, Black Body Curve, stairs, a rushed flight down the 38, French doors unlocked always. Always, a lie, an argument. Argument, two buck hunters circle a meadow's edge. Edge, one of us outside, bleeding. End quote. Julie Enzer, writing for Lambda Literary, describes Bashir's poems as rife with layered meanings while they immerse the reader in a landscape that is both familiar and reassuring, as well as deeply unfamiliar and strange. End quote. An empathy that demands to be seen and to be recognized. Samia Bashir is the author of 3 chapbooks, Wearing Shorts on the First Day of Spring. It's one of my favorite titles. American Visa and Teasing Crow, as well as 2 books of poetry, Gospel and Where the Apple Falls, a finalist for the Lambda Literary Award. She has been widely anthologized, won several awards and fellowships, including an NEA grant, and is the founder of the Fire and Ink Festival. It is my pleasure to introduce fellow Michigan-born Samia Bashir.
Sit. Sit. Large. Fly. Fly.
Secret.
Sleepless.
Yes.
Drop.
Question yourself.
Secret.
Question all those who need
Large. Drop. Secret. Sit. Large. Sleepless.
You
Drop.
were given birth to by notions formulated
Conjure.
in heads. You were not a child.
Fly.
Breathing.
Large.
Just like anybody else.
Drop. Sit. Secret.
Exist.
Yes.
Think.
Sit.
Yes.
Large.
That's the word.
Drop.
This is not the heavens.
Fly. Large. Sit.
This is not the heavens. Yes,
Sleepless.
there are.
Drop. Conjure. Fly.
When your uncle speaks, on your behalf. Sit. Wonder of friends. Whose likes
She taught
and
you
dislikes
how
are a
best
blood relation.
you should make use of your own body. She assisted you,
Yes. Leap to the tongue. Question
like the
yourself.
day's shadow,
Religious. Question
from
all
the
imagination.
purposelessness of
Journeys
our
to a
own
region
body, your
solid
soul,
and prominent.
your brain.
Ceased
She couldn't hurt
to exist.
herself. Not then, anyway.
Doubt. You were given birth to by notions formulated in
Was this why she went?
You were not a child, breathing
She nourished
just
you,
like anybody else.
a body totally her own,
To exist.
young as you were, needy and self-sufficient.
The way blind people's eyes
She could choose to be herself,
think.
walk about
This
in the
is
nude
not the heaven. This is not the heaven.
if she wanted. When awake,
Unless there are.
if you were the only person in the room, she cursed people in her language.
This is not
It didn't
the
matter
heavens.
if you understood or not.
Unless there are.
What mattered was the look in your eyes.
One of
Surprise
soul. You are not yourself.
or incomprehension.
And
Yours and hers because of her relations with you.
when your uncle
You
speaks
became a controversial
on your
topic
behalf,
to many. She was from somewhere else, up north.
wonder,
They treated her despicably, calling her all sorts of things. No one took trouble to reach the bottom.
whose likes and dislikes
Who was she really?
are a blood relation. Through forest,
To you,
without any clearing.
she was the cosmos.
Stone steps, too numerous, leap to the tongue.
Hers was the body upon which
Prodigious
your growing
imagination.
nourished.
Journeys
It
to a
didn't matter
region solid
in the least whether
and
she
prominent.
came or not,
Ceased
if she had been a warrior or no. She meant the world to you. No one else needed her as much as you, as often as you. When she wasn't with you, with a self-abandon,
to exist.
you cried and cried. With a self-surrender,
Blind people's eyes tend to numerous
Some say.
words.
she bewitched you.
This is not the heavens. Unless there are.
From your first encounter, you didn't like the way he outstared you.
The old man.
You paid her all attention, leaving you more or less yourself. Your eyes, the look described as
None
Wicked.
of soul
satanic,
are not
did not appear at all convinced,
Yes.
not quite a being.
Question yourself. Question all.
Perhaps
those
this
who
explains why she exists, primarily upon the fortune of different kingdoms. The living and the dead, disappointed
in the wake
again.
of the old man, there was a butcher, knowing what knives of destiny
Allah is the space and time of all Muslims.
through forests without any clearing.
Allah is
Stone
the
steps
space and time of all Muslims. Allah is the space and time of all Muslims. Allah is the space and time of all Muslims. Allah is the space and time of all Muslims. Allah is the space and time of all Muslims. But not you. As usual, resist.
Numerous large.
She had organized her life around you. She awoke not to say her prayers, but not to attend to your needs.
Yes. Question.
Was she you?
Question all.
Even-legged?
Those who need you.
Sure-footed?
Doubt.
But then how could...
In the wake of the old man.
But then how could...
So
then how could...
You're not a child. Breathing.
The small world of darkness
Large.
cast by your stars.
Think.
You opened your...
Secret.
You
This is not the heaven. Yes.
touch yourself
Question.
in order to be reassured
Question all those who need you. Question
in
all
bed.
those who need you.
The priest was in his foulest
When your
of
uncle
moods.
questioned all those who
You were touchably
in the
there
wake of the old man.
without reassuring yourself.
Uncle,
What am I to do then?
a butcher. You are not a child. Whose life
Be
knowing the
accommodating.
lives of destiny is awake.
You are insane,
Leap to the
and you are jealous. You are never alone.
journeys to a region solid and firm.
You are never alone. So much so that I see you.
When your uncle speaks, none exhale
I see you
with wonder.
all the time. You smell of urine.
Whose life and dislife are of blood before
Why can't we just marry?
to the pine.
You and I.
Stones
Let our bodies join with odor and cries. We cannot, in body and spirit too. And no, I can be yours only in sin, only in sin, only in sin. Imagine you and burst into tears, and burst into tears, and burst into tears, and burst.
question yourself. Question all those who need you. Doubt.
Picture
They're given birth to by notion of
the truth. You lost.
breathing
Count how many times you were frightened.
large.
Count how many times you were frightened. You remember little kindnesses extended to you,
This is
shunned,
the heavens.
cried,
Unless there are. Question
touched.
Question
You
all
justified
those knowing
scolding yourself. You didn't want children. You began to reason thus.
when your uncle speaks all
You didn't like children because, as always, daughters busied themselves as women carrying,
birth to by notions one
as infants with broken hearts, as though they were little girls.
whose likes and dislikes
In retrospect, part of you admired these girls
leap
from a distance, anyway, climbing up a wall or
This is not the journeys to a
basking
region
in the sun.
and prominent. Unless there are.
The life-giving aspects interested you. You once said it was the visceral dislike of children's babble, their mechanical contrivances,
Numb of soul.
the noise, demands, the surprise. 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 Listening to you, suffering from some complaint
Before
you had no name for.
stone steps to imagination to count journeys to a region in the wake.
But you are an adult.
Prominent.
Surely. What you didn't say whatever it was worth. You knew when bedrooms closed, sleeping lids, when their tongues tasted staleness in their mouths.
None of soul.
The parents surrendered. When thoughts were harnessed and allowed to roam freely, you knew. You could tell stories no one was listening to.
Before
In the late hour,
this is not stone steps
in the night's darkness,
to count
you allow the adult to emerge,
of the old man.
express
This is not
adult thoughts.
girl.
And then the two of you,
There are
like adults,
knowing
exchange
that knowledge of destiny
secrets.
awaits.
Secrets. Condemn and pass judgments. Talk about daily bloodletting. You ate 10 times as much at 4.5, weighed a ton, nicknamed Monster, hearing mothers say, "Why have you made me a monster?" Why have you made me a monster? You tell the story, but suddenly features change expression. That's enough. Change the subject to something trivial. Tell a story until your breathing slows, shallows, knee highs. Mothers were generally indulgent at first, then ruthless, then strict, rigid. You imagine constant loss all the time. Instructed women in their best, tottered past them. Some can afford indulgence. Some see angels and marvel. Some have no children and are thus blessed. Many admire adults who admire them. Sit. Sleepless. Large. Conjure. Fly. Large. Large. Secret. Yes. Question yourself. Question all those who meet you. Doubt. You were given birth to by notions formulated in heads. You were not a child, breathing just like anybody else. Exist. Think. Yes, that's the word. Think. This is not the heavens. Unless there are. Unless. When your uncle speaks on your behalf, wonder of friends, creatures of fiction, whose likes and dislikes are a blood relation. Leap to the tongue. Prodigious imagination. Journeys to a region solid and prominent. Created to exist as secrets. The way blind people's eyes tend to. Numb of soul. You are not yourself. anyway. Numerous doorways are enabled through forests without any clearing. Stone steps too numerous to count. In the wake of the old man, there was a girl, a butcher. In the wake of the old man, there was a girl, a butcher. In the wake of the old man, there was a girl, a butcher. In the wake of the old man, there was a girl, a butcher, knowing what knives of destiny await.
We'll have a 10-minute break.